What up, familia? Is your favorite Puerto Rican Brooklyn Philly back with another message, and I'm just gonna jump right in. So the message, this first part is a channeled message. What I got this morning was Thor Thursday, which is interesting because yesterday was Woden Wednesday. It was a message from Odin. This is the channeled message. So, Thor Thursday astrologically is associated with the planet Jupiter, the planet of expansion, luck, and wisdom. In retrograde, it is currently in retrograde it began on November 11th, and it'll be in retrograde through March 11th, 2026, signaling a time of introspection, re-evaluation, focus on interpersonal growth, and for one to reconsider values, right? Values, and then I wrote in parentheses, intention and ethics and beliefs equals how you live, rather than pushing for external expansion or major new ventures. So in other words, Thor is known for being very, well, they break it down, they say, so seems contradictory because you have Thor and Jupiter, both potent and direct energy, combined with a retrograde, which states slow down, introspect, turn inward. So they were making the distinction between, here you have Thor and the planet Jupiter, both which say go direct, growth, expand. Thor has his hammer, since it's retrograde during these next 3 months, it seems that they're saying it is to do all those things, to grow and expand, but inwardly, right? How they work together. They are helping us to reassess our personal power, one's truth, how you would wield such strength. So no go do energy, but redirect it into inner strength versus outer force. Shift the focus from using Thor's hammer towards external battles, to using strength for internal purification, defining our personal boundaries, and confronting your inner weaknesses and self-imposed limitations. So because it's in retrograde, it's saying all that direct force, all that beautiful energy is just telling us to redirect it, right? Because Jupiter is currently in retrograde. Review how you see justice, and then I was led to write just us. Both Thor, Jupiter are of moral order. Is turn it into an opportunity to review personal ethics. Ask yourself, do your actions align with your internal truths? How is your behavior and your current actions and whatever, personal or familial relationships, job or profession, communities, whatever your involvement is that aligning with what your values, your ethics, your morals, the internal compass is telling you? Patience and action. Instead of jumping like Thor and Jupiter ready to expand, take the retrograde as necessary delays. I like that. I love when it said that they're necessary delays, right? It can be frustrating for us who are ready to go, but these are necessary delays that are intentional to slow us down, right? There's a need for patience versus impulse. Growth lies not in grand gestures at this time, but rather in quiet, reflective work, essentially realigning your inner world. Now add to the mix the new moon in Scorpio today, 11/20/25, takes all I just said and multiplies it by 10 in terms of depth, right? DEPTH, going deep, creating a synergistic, powerful moment in time, right? I mean, we have today is Thursday. Today is Thor's day. Thor being the one that comes down with the hammer, that is known for wisdom and truth and justice and forward movement, combining with Jupiter, that's known for good luck, wisdom, expansion, growth. Combine that with now Scorpio, right? The new moon that we're currently having on today, 11/20. right, is creating a synergistic, powerful moment for deep, transformative, internal review. So it's not playing about us really getting to the inside of us, right? This is not the time to concentrate on external situations. This is the time to literally shine the light inward, not outward. Don't point the finger. Some say four, including the thumb, are pointing back at you. And not for somebody else to do that for you or point that out to you, for you to do this introspective reflection yourself. For deep, transformative internal review. Not an easy feat, uncomfortable, but obviously necessary, before allowing for genuine sustainable growth, right? Because the retrograde will end on March 11th, and then it'll go back forward. But so this is the internal work, the foundational internal work that must be done, so that when you do then propel forward, you're coming from like this genuine, authentic place. The cosmos not done yet. If you thought that was a banger, right? All that I just said. Now consider that Jupiter is also in the sign of Cancer, where it is exalted, meaning most potent, at a favorable position, meaning Cancer and Jupiter get along real well, right? Again, it's in its favorable position, therefore growth, luck, wisdom, triple times now, right? We have Thor, we have Jupiter, we have Cancer. All they talk about growth, luck, and wisdom. And then we have the depths of Scorpio, right? I wrote wowza. I don't know who speaks like that, but that's what I have in the parentheses. It says, this growth, luck, and wisdom is expressed with ease and abundance when it's in the sign of Cancer. Now placing emphasis towards the heart, home, and emotional security. So if we're going inward, not only is it telling us to go inward for everything else it just told us, right? To reevaluate ourselves, to look at our values and ethics, to look at how we look at justice, to look at how we look at power dynamics and how we wield that power. But now it's saying put extra emphasis towards, because of Cancer, the heart, your heart, the home, and emotional security. So now you're asked to slow down, heal old wounds, reassess personal values, period, it said, with a T. And then, beloved, your well-being is priority at this time, but from within, through compassionate self-care and self-reflection, and establishing a sense of inner peace. And that was the channeled message, right? And then they wanted me to go directly to this book. It's called Devil in Love. And they want me to do bibliomancy from here, but I'm going to give the author's name. It's Devil in Love by Ariel Day. I think it's a collection of poems. I don't recall. So anyway, just so that we can do it on camera. I'm about to ring the bell. So even though I cleansed and pre-shuffled everything, but just be mindful, your ears. Duality. I want a man who can tie me up on Friday night and listen to me talk about my fucked up family on Saturday morning. Wow. Well, that's the message. You want to screenshot it? So, you know, I'm hearing you can flip that to a woman, right? I want a woman who can tie me up on Friday night and listen to me talk about my fucked up family on Saturday morning. And then they have the rope here. Duality. Okay, Spirit, what a way to start the reading. I was instructed to utilize this deck from the Great Eastern Oracle, or Rasuli, right? Which is interesting because, you know, it has it from all the greatest Eastern oracles, right? From Rasuli, Rumi. So that's interesting. We go from that poem to this. Oh, I already shuffled this. Let's see what. Oh, that was quick. And the part is look deeper into your fear. Oh, and that's a person's face. I just saw it. Yeah. And what's interesting is this image that I initially saw a heart, the organ, the heart, right? And now I'm hearing that song. Listen to your heart when it's calling for you. And now look at his face or her face. It looks angst, right? It is scary, I'm hearing, right? To look into the fear, right? To confront it. But this is exactly what this time is being set aside for. And I just heard from Spirit that some of y'all are literally being sat down. They want me to read it from the book. Look deeper into your fear. Oh, it says something at the bottom. Divine power is embedded in you. Interesting. So again, the duality, right? Right? So how is it you want me to look at my fear, and by looking at my fear is going to help me to see the divine power that is locked into me, right? Okay. Look deeper, look deeper, look deeper, right? And then that's a play on words. Look deeper. Today is the Scorpio new moon, which says look deeper, right? We just read that. That was a part of the channeled message. It reads, look deeper into your fear. Divine power is embedded in you. People have a hard time letting go of suffering. Out of a fear of the unknown, they prefer suffering that is familiar. Why not invite fear to your awareness and look at it clearly and deeply instead of escaping from it? Thich Nhat Hanh. That is the quote from that individual. I probably butchered it a little bit, but. And then they have a section on expression. Assume that you have been invited to perform on a stage for the first time in your life. Even though you know you have the ability to do so, your mind is presenting you with two major worries. Your left brain is warning you about the possibility of making mistakes. Your right brain is advising you not to make a fool of yourself in front of an eager audience. Your feeling of excitement is sandwiched between these two forces and could be pushing you into a panic mode. Reflection. The seeds of love are germinating and sprouting inside your heart, wanting to be free to go places, to be anything, and to do everything without fear. Your soul, beloved, is longing to be free from what is stopping you from following your dreams. This oracle guides you to eliminate what causes you anxiety by coming face to face with your fear. Take these words as an offering of grace pouring from a great and loving heart, the benevolent and generous source from which you... Oh, wow, they go into the next page. From which you come. Let the beauty and kindness of pure love offer you the courage to break through all that has been stopping you from pursuing what you truly want to do. Instead of suffering, begin to develop dreams and ideas bigger than what you think might happen if things go wrong. Move beyond your fears. The most important thing you can do about your fears is to acknowledge them and take steps to understand them and their sources. Once you do this, you can work to overcome them. From that moment, you will become more relaxed in the feeling of a blessed assurance that only pure love can give. Your soul will feel a new energy and a strong sense of a divine presence in your heart. Fear can disappear into the sweetness of surrender. Be bold and have faith. Mantra. The idea of failure is removed from my thoughts. I feel the power and courage of love that helps me face whatever happens. Amen. Ashe and Amen. Yes, that was beautiful. So the High Priestess, right? That's talking about intuition, right? That's talking about an inner knowing. Again, the High Priestess, right, usually represents going in within, not outside. And she looks like she's very much separate in this picture from the outside world. You see the tall, I don't know, I was going to say it looked like hedges, right? She looks like she's at I wanted to say like a graveyard, right? But Yeah, a very isolated place by herself, sitting there, right? Doing that introspection, doing that reflection. What's striking me too is the astrological connection, right, of the planets. And again, we were just talking about all of these things in the channel message. They had me look up Thor, Thursday, Jupiter, Jupiter in Cancer, the new moon in Scorpio. So, yeah, I'm hearing like connect the stars, connect the dots. And then you see this glowing light like shining down upon her, right? And I just heard your body knows. And they're reminding me of the song that I was awoken to yesterday. Is Anita Baker, Body and Soul. It came out in 94. And I thought it wasn't going to be a part of this reading. I thought it was something that was more personal, but I just keep hearing her singing. Do you hear me, baby? You got no doubts. Inside and out, we got me, baby. And that was the key verse that they made me write down. Okay. Anita Baker, A.B. 1994, Body and Soul. So, but the song was not singing it to somebody else. The song was singing it. It was the inner self singing it to. In my case, it was to me. It was me singing it to me, and it was my inner self saying, I want to make sure that there's no doubts in your mind. You have no doubts inside and out. Love me, body and soul, right? And when I heard love me, body and soul, I was moved to, touch my flupa, touch my inner thighs, touch my arms, right? Touch my neck and my throat, touch my body and weight and particularly parts that I would be insecure about, or say, well, this is what I want to exercise, this is what I want to tighten up on. There was this urgency for me to love myself, body and soul, without any doubts, inside and out. There is this emphasis about my nose is itching, so the ancestors are definitely here. Your ancestors are here. You're safe, I'm hearing. It's safe for you to do this. It's safe for you to confront your fears. It's safe for you to face your insecurities. It's safe for you to dive deep. This is not meant to hurt you. It's definitely destined. It is inevitable, right? It said that in the challenge message, that is necessary, right? That they're causing this slowdown so that you can do this necessary deep dive. Right? And all the stars are aligning to assist you with this, to assist you with this introspection. And then it says something about, here, divine, that bottom of the card, it says divine power is embedded in you, right? So the high priestess has all of that she needs within her. She knows all of the ancient knowledge, all of the ancient wisdom, everything, the mysteries of the world, everything, right? So the mysteries of your world, right? You know them intimately. And the song in Body and Soul by Anita Baker, it is about, it revealed to me that for so long I looked for others to love me without any doubts, right? Inside and out. But it seemed like the more I longed for that, the more I would come across individuals, whether in romantic or platonic, that would have doubts, were not certain. And then that would cause me to then go into a mold where, but no, look, I'm a good person, or to prove my worth somehow to them. And it became a vicious cycle, right? But you acknowledge and become comfortable, and you love yourself without any doubt, I'm hearing, right? Inside and out, just as you are. Then you invite for that person to come and tie you up on Friday night and listen to you talk about your fucked up family on Saturday morning, right? You become that person for the other, and then you invite the other to be that person for you and hold that space for you. So there's something about first recognizing that within that then will bring it. Okay. Next card. This is the Four of Pentacles, right? So the Four of Pentacles, it would keep you holding on, clinching, right? In the Eastern Oracle, when we just read, that's one of the first things that we were taken to. It was talking about how it's hard to let go, right? People have a hard time letting go of suffering out of a fear of the unknown. They prefer suffering that is familiar. It's about letting that, about that letting go. In the Four of Pentacles, we're holding on, usually, right? We've established something, we've accumulated something, and we're saying we're going to hold on for dear life to this, right? But in holding on to this so tightly, you're missing out on the expansive part that this card already spoke to us about. They're saying that there's a whole world for us out here. The heart is ready to know this expansion, right? Back to Jupiter. There's so much room for luck, for more wisdom, for more growth, for more expansion. But again, full circle, it cannot happen unless we do this inner work first. There was something about him still not being happy. Yet here he is bragging about what he has accumulated, right? But even with all of that, and then again, it was limiting him because there was so much more. They want me to read it. You feel the need for austerity. Perhaps you're paying back a loan or banking money for retirement. Since this card contains the energy of a four, it denotes the stability needed to help you attain your financial goals. But there's a catch. While you're in control, you feel like you have to hold on to each penny out of fear that you'll end up with nothing. Again, it's this fear that's gripping you. The Four of Pentacles teaches us balance. This energy helps you manage your life while building a solid future. You've probably worked very hard to get where you are today. If you've struggled in the past, you may be inclined to hold on to your possessions. But money, like any item, carries energy. Energy should flow or it becomes blocked. Save, invest, at the same time, live and give. It's about, how do I find this balance, right? How can I live and still enjoy, life, and still be mindful of saving, right? And for a rainy day, or for my older year, my golden years, or something like that. That one extreme or the other is no bueno, is no good, right? Because if I just waste frivolity and don't prepare for golden years, then when I get to my golden years, there may be situations that arise that I'm really going to need what I should have been saving all the time. But then if I just save and don't enjoy life, maybe I'll get to my golden years and pass away. Or, don't have the same mobility and freedom that I did, if I would have maybe, 10 years earlier or 5 years earlier, The third card, look, the Queen of Swords. Be honest with yourself. There's something about communicate what is needed to be communicated. Be honest with yourself. That's what I keep hearing. Swords bring clarity, communication. Her hand is touching the statue. The muscles of this, holding on to him as she's stepping down. I'm hearing you're more established than you think, right? And she's in the in-between, right? This is stagnant. This is standing still. This is frozen. So she's still holding on while yet stepping forward. Again, maybe speaking to this time of introspection and reflection, right? Where I'm not fully ushering out this impulse to want to move forward, lunge forward. But there is this need for delay, for hesitation, for pause. Not out of fear, but I'm hearing for preparation. Right, the Queen of Swords didn't become the Queen of Swords all willing. From what I understand, some say she made it from the muscle for real. Interesting. And then we have this depiction of the muscles there. At the bottom of the deck, the Page of Cups. There's this fish jumping out of the water. She has what seems to be a scroll, and then the cup. And in the cup seems to be the heart. Back to that Cancerian energy, right? And then again, there goes the alignment of the stars. This is the moment, right? You will get profound messages, but that will come from the depths within, right? And when you arise from this, you're going to arise with the scroll and with your your cup of self-love filled, pure. You know, and I'm hearing you're purifying your heart. And again, that's usually my prequel card, right? What sets off the rest of those 3 cards. To reiterate, setting off this introspection, showing you the imbalances and where you need to get balanced, and telling you that you're more than capable. You have all of the information, the clarity, and the communication you'll need to move forward if you do this. If you pause and take the time out now. Now, they're showing me that she has this staff, very similar to Thor's hammer, but she's not battling anybody, hammering anything. She's standing. Right? There's something about having the source, the resource in hand, knowing when to yield it and when to wield it. Yeah, you have everything you need. So when you're ready, you're going to be more than ready, more than capable, more than prepared. That's what Thor and Jupiter is saying. Seven of Blades. This is when it's talking about Cancer and Scorpio, right? So we're talking about the depths. If we're talking, and that's a home that was burglarized. Those are children who have been affected. And when I heard it, in what ways have you deceived yourself or allowed yourself to be deceived by others? The one young man is angry, the other one is crying. There's a gentleman in the window. I don't know if you can see. So I just heard that's the different family dynamics, right? They all look like they can be related too. So this person can be somebody that you know that violated home. Because he's walking away with the laptop and everything. One is angry, one is crying. Why no one is trying to beat him up, get him? There's people in the window looking exacerbated. And he's looking back kind of smiling, smirking. This is the Seven of Blades, which would be the Seven of Swords, deceit. So again, it's asking in what ways, you know, have you deceived yourself? Have you allowed yourself to be deceived? Or you have deceived others? And or what, you know, possibly for some of you, the family dynamics or relationship dynamics you found yourself in. Maybe at times you found yourself being the angry one. Maybe at times you found yourself being the crying one. Maybe at times you found yourself being the one doing the thievery. Or the one exacerbated in the window, not knowing what to do. Or this was possibly a family member, a lover. I don't know, right? It will resonate for different people in different ways. But these are the questions that they're saying during this Cancer, which is reflecting on the heart and home. Let's talk about Cancer wants you to reflect on the heart, home, and emotional security. And if we're talking about our inner world, right? Your nervous system, your heart, how does it not feel secure, you know, or haven't felt secure? Fell right over the High Priestess card, right? So it is internal. 10 of Blades, so more swords. So we go from the 7 to the 10, and this one falls over the 4. And they said something about that, looking deeper into your fear. How are you not letting go of these fears, of these wounds, these past hurts? Got cameras watching him, spikes over the gate, can't move over. The cat is attacking him. The shirt he's wearing is a poison, right? Usually, which would mean to me drugs and alcohol. someone trying to you know, shiv him, I'm hearing, with a knife. Another one, a broken bottle. I don't know, is that like a bat or something attacking him on top too? Some type of bird? Yeah, a bat. Yeah, how has, and it fell over this Four of Pentacles. How has this, you know, this holding on to this grip, you know, kept you paralyzed, feeling like victimized, like you can't move, you can't, you know, you're there's nothing you can do. You're just a victim of this type of abuse treatment. And it's a deception of a belief that was developed maybe from the home. Again, we're talking about Cancer, yes, in the depths into Scorpio. But thankfully, it's a 10. I'm saying it's done. This cycle is ready to be closed. Or has closed, right? I mean, for some of you, it's like the inner child in you is still holding on to that, even though you're a grown adult now. When you get triggered, you go back to this place. And look what just fell out onto the ground. So 2 10s, 10 of 7, then 10 of blades, and 10 of 1. And again, so then if we're talking about this started in the childhood and has kept you in this locked, you know, well, everybody's going to treat me this way, or all circumstances, right, turn out this way for me. But, so then now as an adult, you know, you find yourself, yeah, there was something about in trigger warning about this title or this message, or a message having something to do with self-abuse, right? Once we become accustomed to a certain type of treatment and we were raised that way, and it became either a coping mechanism or a solidified belief system. Yeah, didn't they say that? It said when they were talking about it's time to reevaluate our ethics and morals, and it was something about, yeah, I wrote it in parentheses. Where is this, Spirit? About how it's our belief systems, what we believe, right? When we're looking at, if we're going to look at our morals and values and our ethics, it's really saying we're looking at, you know, what we believe, and then as a result, they become our actions and how we live. But now you find yourself as an adult, maybe in, this looks like a person who's at a job, right? You see the city lights on at the time, it's 10 o'clock at night. She's trying to burn the midnight oil, and no matter, drinking coffee on caffeine, spiked up. The phone is ringing, the report is due. You know, you see she's got all these scrap papers that she balled up, trying to do it over and over again. I'm hearing this madness for anyone. So again, if we were raised in that type of environment or community or household, and we believed that there is, I'm hearing, our lot in life, and out of fear didn't necessarily fight back, right? And now I'm hearing that piece from Celia. I don't know how to fight. All I know how to do is survive. That's from The Color Purple. When Nettie said, why don't you stand up for yourself? She said, I don't know how to fight. All I know how to do is survive. You know, I was speaking to a colleague today, and she said, I don't, you know, I feel stuck. I know that this 9 to 5 isn't for me. I know it's not healthy for me. I know I can't stand it and I want to let it go, but I don't know how to think outside the box to show me what other way other than this 9 to 5 traditional way can I make money? Can I support myself? So this time is asking you to look at that. And maybe it's different for each of us, right? For each person. Maybe the one thing for some of us to look at is the childhood and ways we deceived or have been deceived, stolen and stolen from. You know, put yourself with the ways in which we, you know, didn't, maybe some of us didn't stand up and was afraid. I don't know how to fight. All I know how to do is survive. And then some of us is, the only way I coped was by trying to put myself in this like workaholic mode, but now it's become unbearable. It's the 10 of Wands. All of these situations have been heightened. Now my nose is itching again. They become unbearable. No one can live under these, I'm hearing false pretenses. Yeah, because this one fell over the Queen of Swords. Here, you're a very good communicator. You're seen as a leader. But maybe you're possibly in an environment where you can't do that. You're undervalued. You're not respected. You're overworked and underpaid. Although you have all of these beautiful skills. But due to fear, you're fearful to step out, maybe to become an entrepreneur, to start your own, when you're clearly qualified. I heard that's what Thor said. At the bottom of the deck, wow, 4 Wands. Very different from that 4 of Pentacles, right? So again, if this is the prequel, again, yeah, we're talking about 4 Wands is home. Yeah. Stability, security. You know, this is what you really want. This is what you really deserve. You know, these are older people here, so this is something about, you know, and look at the child looking lovingly, right? I don't know, like if this is a birthday party or an anniversary, right? Because it's a couple holding hand, being celebrated, maybe for their love. So maybe this is what you want. This is what you desire. This is what you've been trying to establish or want to establish or accomplish. And this is what's rightfully yours, right? And Jupiter wants to give this to you. Thor wants to give it to you, right? In the sign of Cancer. All of them align beautifully. Remember, after the introspection. Once you do the deep dive, right? Because you don't want to go into this next level if you're still holding on to a job that isn't paying you and that has no respect for you and has you overworked. Like, why would you be at work at 10 o'clock at night over a community or maybe a family situation where you feel violated, disrespected, always attacked, always have to be in defense mechanism, or in a relationship with a friend, family, or foe member that is always, you know, stealing from you and leaving you crying and angry and footing the bill and having to repair what they've broken. And all you want is this: peace, joy. And you deserve it. You have a right to it. Okay, and now they want me to utilize these affirmations to close. I already shuffled these, pre-shuffled. Thank you, Thor. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Ancestors. Thank you, Jupiter. Thank you, Scorpio. Thank you, Cancer. All right. What messages do you want us to walk away with? My income is constantly increasing, right? You know, these are like mantras. Again, this is possible. You don't have to stay locked in for 35 years where you don't want to because you're scared that the income is not going to be enough. Now, again, if that's what you want to do, so be it. I'm just using that as an example, right? But, you know, You are more than qualified to be your own leader, your own entrepreneur, to come up with non-traditional ways of making your money and for it to increase constantly. I'm hearing. Make love to you constantly. I just on the back it says, I begin now today to open myself to ever increasing prosperity. That's what Jupiter wants to give you. That's what Thor wants to give you. That's what they promise you. There's no way in the world you won't have the growth and the expansion and the abundance and the wisdom to keep it increasing. There is no blame. Oh, that's so beautiful, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you, Thor. Right? Because that's another way to stay stuck in the fear. Blaming ourselves or blaming others. There's no blame. I release the need to blame anyone, including myself. We are all doing the best we can with the understanding, knowledge, and awareness we have. That's real. That allows for true forgiveness. Forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others. Yeah. Yeah. Those who stole from us. Those who attacked us. Those who purposely, I'm hearing, emotionally and terrified us. And the ways we allowed it, right? But not to blame myself, to understand that just like those that were doing the best they could with what they knew, you were doing the best that you could with what you knew too. And one more, Spirit. Thank you. Please and thank you. Confirmation, yeah. And that one, oh, it says this one. My life works beautifully. Everything in my life works now and forevermore. I mean, they kept it very simple. You know, this is beautiful. You know, I'm hearing a blessed assurance, right? And at the bottom of the deck on this one, all my relationships are harmonious. And it reads, when we create harmony in our minds and hearts, see what I mean? We will find it in our lives. The inner creates the outer always. Yo, I can't make, come on now. Tell me that is not the most beautiful way to end this. Talk about divine intervention, divine timing. I'm hearing, right? I'm hearing it is written and so it is. You just have to decide in your mind that yes, that you're worthy of it, right? And I'm speaking to a group of people who have been doing the work. You know, for most of you that are listening to this, you have gone in to look at this fear deeply. You have been doing the introspection and the reflection, right? Saying don't give up, right? Slow down. It's okay. Take your time now. These delays are necessary. This is solidifying the foundation, right? So when it's time to go, baby, it'll be, I'm hearing, on solid ground, not sinking sand. Because you're worth it. So that was the message, beloved, from Thor. I pray that it has helped you in some kind of way, that you were able to resonate. As always, I lovingly suggest that you be you on purpose, that you are this sacred consciousness, and that this world needs you. And until next time, beloved, have a beautiful one on purpose. Amen, Amen, and Ashe.